Bulls Nation, after a very competitive victory against the Detroit Pistons, now with what we've seen in one regular season game, I want to talk to you about potential things that the Chicago Bulls could do to hopefully improve this team in the future, and more specifically against certain opponents that we do have next, like the New Orleans Pelicans and the way that they like to play. We're going to be talking a little bit and discussing a little bit about what the Chicago Bulls could use, as well as Coby White and what he could bring to this team now that we've seen what our bench will be. Without further ado, let's talk all about it in this video. Let's do it. Everybody, it's the Bulls Show, aka Aidan, and welcome back to another video. Today we've got a Chicago Bulls related video referring to Coby White and what he could bring to this team, and definitely something that we need in terms of that bench, what Coby White could provide, as well as some changes the Chicago Bulls may seek to make heading into the next game against the New Orleans Pelicans, and potentially throughout the further course of games in the future for this team. We may have to adjust the way that we play with the bench unit. But before we get started, please like and subscribe to the Bulls Show, turn notifications on, and let me know in the comments below your thoughts about the Chicago Bulls and their style of play, the way that they play, and if changes need to be made so early on. Now, by no stretch of the means am I going to be attacking the Bulls in this video. At the end of the day, we are 1-0 in the regular season. This is the first time it's happened in 5 years, and I'm very, very happy that we won this game with all odds stacked against us in many ways, throughout the course of the game, and of course prior to the game as well, being away from home. But after seeing this game, the very first game, and this is just a short sample size once again, preseason and now one regular season game, I want to talk about Coby White, ladies and gentlemen, and where I think he fits into this team. Because what I saw last game against the Detroit Pistons off of the bench with this team, there is a need for scoring off of this bench, and more a prolific scorer. And that's something that I feel Coby White will be in a nutshell when he returns. Of course, Coby White, we all know his strengths, we all know his weaknesses. A lot of people will stress that Coby White is not a great defender on this team, and that's completely understandable. We have seen poor defensive displays from Coby White this season, or last season I should say, and I don't know if there's going to be major changes in that category. However, in terms of the defensive end, when you're playing off of this bench with guys like Alex Caruso, Ayo Dosunmu, Troy Brown Jr., Alize Johnson, even Tony Bradley, and then you play with potentially other starters like Lonzo Ball. The defense is a requirement for the Chicago Bulls, and if you don't play defense on this team, you're going to be standing out like a sore thumb. And that's exactly what we're seeing with Nikola Vucevic at this point in time. When you have everybody playing defense, but you have that one weakness in the team, that one weakness does get abused by other teams. They put that weakness into play to try and get as many points as they can. With Coby White hopefully being a guard, being very fast, being able to be, I guess, a little bit of an energy type player, we hopefully don't see those defensive weaknesses that we saw last year when we didn't really have a great perimeter defending backcourt. We have better players perimeter-wise on terms of defense now. So I think Coby White comes into this team and absolutely has a fantastic time off of this bench. We need scoring. Coby White, in his first year for the Chicago Bulls, averaged around 13 points per game, and most of that was off of the bench. We could desperately use those 13 points per game around about this time with the Chicago Bulls. We desperately need a little bit more scoring. We need someone that can create their own shot. We need someone that's willing to take the ball and do some special things with it. With Coby White, he's always been a talented player offensively, and those talents need to be shown throughout the course of the season when he does return. And after seeing this game, again, Alex Caruso had 3 points today. Ayo Dosunmu had 7 points today. Alize had 0. Troy Brown had 0. Any other bench player that played had 0 points. The bench needs to be the place where when the starters go off, the bench needs to come in and improve the team. Defensively, we did improve this team, and we all know that. For many people that are making fun of the Bulls bench, they clearly didn't watch the defensive display this bench had. However, the offense does stand out, and that's something that we're going to need to fill. And we can't just rely on this bench at the moment in terms of just Alex Caruso to be the scoring option. We need more scorers on this team. We need more players that could take the ball and create something with it. And that's why I feel like Coby White is going to be a very important player when he does return. For anyone that's saying that Coby White doesn't make the rotation, I strongly feel when we see Coby White return, we're going to play a rotation of Alex Caruso, Coby White, and Ayo Dosunmu. I don't understand if we can play Caruso, Ayo, and Javonte Green, why we can't add Coby White into a 3-guard situation. And we'll have to wait and see if it works out at the end of the day or not. But I really feel like Coby White will not only make Alex Caruso better offensively, but will also make Ayo better offensively. And of course, Coby White is a really good offensive player himself. And great offensive players can sometimes elevate other players to become better because it's not all the pressure is on them. When we bring the second unit in, we need to see strong offense from Coby White that allows and expands us to get good offensive displays from other players. I think it's going to be very, very vital towards when he does return. And his return, I hope it's sooner than later, because I really feel like this team can work with Coby White in the lineup, even though he's not the best defender. Now let's talk about some potential changes the Chicago Bulls can make in terms of the next game against the New Orleans Pelicans. This is something that's been, I guess, brought up to my attention. We did not play Tony Bradley in this game. Not one single minute did Tony Bradley play in this game. And the question needs to be asked, should the Chicago Bulls consider playing Tony Bradley in the next game? A lot of our paint production, a lot of our interior defense was weak in this game against the Detroit Pistons. I think we can all agree on that situation. Our defense in the paint was lackluster at best. We saw Alize Johnson get a little bit of points scored on him in the paint. We saw obviously Vucevic get exposed a lot in pick and rolls and interior defense. We also saw that sometimes the switching does end up in open layups for the Detroit Pistons. Three things there that all rely with the paint. So the question needs to be asked, depending on the team that we're playing, and a team like the Pelicans, who often do like to play with a bigger man like with Valanciunas at center, maybe we should consider giving Tony Bradley some game time for the Chicago Bulls in the next game. I don't know if the rotation's finalized. I don't know if this is the main rotation we're going to go with for every single game. But in terms of playing at a big stage, with the Detroit Pistons, I honestly understand playing Alize Johnson because they're not the biggest team out there. Isaiah Stewart is not bigger than Nikola Vucevic, even though at times he kind of played like he was. Kelly Olynyk is a pretty decent big man. But again, I can understand playing small ball against the Detroit Pistons. With the Pelicans and maybe future games down the line, we might not be able to have that luxury. So maybe Tony Bradley needs to be someone that's given more minutes for the Chicago Bulls, added into the rotation a little bit, just so he can get a run out and maybe can make an impact in the interior defense, which is something that we are lacking at the moment. That's what we brought him in to do at the end of the day. We know he's going to be a solid rebounder. We know he can score in the paint. And we also know that he's there to play some defense. So maybe there is the situation where we should play Tony Bradley a little bit more. Regardless, it is just one game. And with one game, we made one single rotation. That's all we know based off in the regular season is that one rotation, and we don't know much else. So of course, the Chicago Bulls may be looking and considering playing Tony Bradley in the next game and in future games to come. But based on this one game, I do feel like we do need to play it a little bit bigger at times. And that's why having a diverse lineup works. When we need a big lineup, we can play big players and we can do it effectively. When we need a smaller lineup, we have small ball players as well. We have diversity in our lineups and the way that we can score and defend. These are the things that Chicago Bulls need to be thinking about on a game-to-game basis. And I do think Tony Bradley deserves an opportunity in the next game. I was a bit surprised he didn't play today, but again, hopefully he can impress in the next game or whenever he does get that opportunity. And that's all the discussion I want to talk to you about today. I can't wait for the next game. Obviously, this game was a bit of a grit and grind type of game. We grinded out the win, and I'm very excited that we got the first win of the season, and hopefully we can continue on that winning streak against the Pelicans, and maybe we can get something really special out of that game at home. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're new. Have a wonderful and safe day, Bulls Nation. I'll see you in another Chicago Bulls video. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay tuned for more. Take care and peace.